So the next question, and which is very important question, is that how VDA or VDI will get registered to controller. Explain how if, if any of VDI or VDA is not getting registered. In that case, how you can troubleshoot those kind of issues or problems, right? So for the same, if someone complaining you like user will never know, user is not from the technical background, so user will never know like VDI is registered or not, right? So what user will tell you, user can ask you like, I'm unable to launch my session, and it is saying that, unable to launch that particular machine due to X by Z reason, or user might getting some error code over there, right? So in that case, what you have to do, first you have to search for the user machine, and then what you have to do, you have to go to the machine catalog like here. And here, for an example, I am having two machine catalogs here which are in unregistered state, right? My those machine catalogs are not registered with my delivery controller. Means those particular two machine catalogs are not getting any license from my license server due to XYZ reason. Might be those machines are powered off or any other issue, or might be there might be some firewall issue. So those kind of issues will be there. So first you have to locate the machine catalog. And how you will locate the machine catalog? Like I think I have shown you earlier for an example. Let's check for any user. Okay, recording has been converted. Okay, so as I told you, Citrix Director is a console for troubleshooting. So if you want to locate user's machine, right? So what you have to do, you have to log into your Director console first, and what you have to do, you have to search for that particular user, and you will get all the details for that particular user from here. I do not want any update. Close this. Okay. So let's log in here with my administrator account, ms1. Right, and let me enter my domain. So now I'm logging into my Director console. So here is my Director console. Let me maximize this for you guys. So just suppose any user is complaining something. So let me search for a user from that search tab. Okay. So I can search for that particular user, HR. So I can see here if there is any session running for that particular user. No session running here, right? If any session is running or any process is running for that particular user, you will get all those resources here and applications also, right? And from here, as you can see, we are getting some address for this user, right? The desktop name is HR desk, and the virtual machine which that user is using is Windows 10-TD-02, right? So what you got from here, you have got the delivery group name, and you have got the host name for that particular machine, right? So now what you have to do, you have to go back to the studio and into the delivery group. You can go there. So over there we are getting this host and delivery group name, right? And in that particular delivery group we are getting the machine like Windows 10. Let me expand the name, Windows 10 TD02, right? So as you can see, it is in unregistered state. So right now, for me, it is in unregistered state. The reason is that because my hypervisor is powered off, right? And from here, what you have to do now, you have got the host name. Simply, what you have to do, you can take a remote of this machine, MSTSC you can take to troubleshoot, and apart from that, what you can do, my hypervisor is not available. You can go to your hypervisor manually with the Gen Center application, and you can check for that machine it is powered on or not, right? So if it is powered on and is still getting the same error like VDA is not registered, right? So to troubleshoot those kind of issues, here is a process, and it is a common process in every organization. Steps may be different. So first, what you have to do, the first thing that you can check, or engineers will always do, first you can reboot the machine, right? If any service is powered off or any other issue, it can be sorted out automatically. After restart, if not getting sorted out, still getting VDA is not registered, then first you have to check the version for that VDA. It is latest or it is outdated, right? Then you can check the event log. You can check the DDC configuration, means when we are configuring any virtual machine with VDA, right? It will ask you, it always asks you to enter the delivery controller address, right? So what you have to do, you have to cross verify that delivery controller address. And also you can check the domain member. Sometimes it happens like, like domain trust kind of relationship error will be there, or machine is disabled from Active Directory console. So you have to check that. Then two services are very, very important. First service you will find out Citrix desktop service, and this service you will get in VDA itself. You have to log into VDA, you have to open services.msc, and you will get this service in that VDA or virtual machine. You have to, if it is in stop state, you have to restart that particular service. And from delivery controller, you can check this service, broker agent.exe, right? So both service should be running. Apart from that, you can ping the machine, and you have to check whether firewall is open or not, right? And if power manage, make sure machine is powered on, that I have already told you. Sometimes it happens like, that particular machine is not getting any IP from DHCP server. So in that case, if something like that machine is not getting any IP address from DHCP server, so you have to check your DHCP scope. What is the reason? Is there any duplication in MAC address or any other issue? So that you have to check, right? And these are the like DNS you can check, or you can check the time synchronization, means the time should be proper as per the domain controller, right? So these are the basic steps. If someone asks you how to troubleshoot those kind of issues, VDA is not getting registered, you have to remember all those steps, right? So as I told you, basic steps you have to remember. Video software should be updated and latest one. Check the delivery controller address. Check those two services, Citrix desktop service and broker agent service, firewall, and you have to make sure machine is powered on or not. And then you have to check the DHCP configuration, right? So DNS, okay, so DHCP server, um, uh, uh, you know uh, like frequently or randomly you may face like, there is something wrong with DHCP server. But for DNS is from DHCP scope as well, so you do not have to worry for DNS. It is a very, very rare configuration, okay? And time synchronization is also very, very rare. Why? Because uh, we never provide any access to users to change the time of particular machine. Means users can change the time zone, right? From, I'm not getting that option. Means user will be able to change the time zone, but not that time, okay? Apart from that, there is a tool given by Citrix which is known as HD ping. So you can launch that tool as well to troubleshoot the issue, like whether user like issue with the VDA or issue with the delivery controller or issue with the firewall, you will get all the logs from this tool. I will let you know how to like how to execute that particular tool in upcoming sessions when we will be preparing for L2. Okay, so as a L1 guys, these are the basic steps for you to troubleshoot those kind of issues. Okay, any question in that? I think these are the basic terms that I explained.
Suppose if a VDI agent is older version, so what can we do if we have multiple machines in our organization?
So just suppose actually, let me go to my PBS console again. Okay, so in my PBS console, I am having two virtual machines here, right? And those two virtual machines are configured to use a single virtual drive, right? In a similar way, I can configure 100 of virtual machines to use my single virtual drive, right? So in that case, what you have to do whenever you are updating your images, right? Just suppose you have got right now you are running on uh, like a VDA agent version 7.1 for an example, right? And after 3 or 4 months you will get a new release for that particular agent, like VDA agent. So what you have to do, you have to update a single VDA agent in a single machine. You have to test that machine catalog, is it working properly or not, and then after you have to replicate that particular image to all the machine catalogs, right? In that way it will synchronize with all the machine catalog in a single click. So again, those kind of topics we will cover in a when in PBS console only, right? So right now you have nothing to worry for this. Okay, so you can answer this like you have to replicate, you have to install the correct VDA agent in a single machine, and then okay, let me show you. Just suppose this is my virtual drive and I have installed virtual delivery agent 7.0 in this machine. So what I have to do, I have to go here into the versioning. So this is my base. One version I have already created for VDA install, right? And from here you have to create another version, and that particular version you can mention after this VDA install, you can mention the correct version, right? And here we are getting one option for replication. So once you will test the entire boot image, it is working fine, you just have to click on replication, and here you will get all the servers. This right now I'm having only one server here, but in production you will get 100 of servers here. You have to check each and every server at a time and click on done. In some time it will replicate the entire image to all the systems in a single click. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
I will let you know. Right now, I have already created the PBS console. So from tomorrow, hopefully we will work on PBS. Okay. Then I will let you know how to configure all those things. Okay. Now coming here next. So sometime it happens like, sometimes you will get in domain sometimes in Citrix Studio you will get error like machine power state is unknown, right? So if I go here, in my case right now power state will be unknown only. Why? Because my hypervisor is not connected. I am using separate machine as my hypervisor, and I have directly installed that hypervisor on that machine. And okay, so here I am getting power option unknown right now in my delivery controller. So for me, the possible reason is that my hypervisor is not connected with my laptop. That is the only reason it is unable to identify the power state. By because my virtual machines is running on my hypervisor, and right now my delivery controller is not connected to my hypervisor. To get the power state of machine means whether it is powered on, powered off, running, whatever it is not getting the power state, right? But in production, you may get those type of errors. So for the those kind of things, first what you have to do, you have to again go to the studio and go to the director. You will get those kind of errors as I shown you, power state unknown, right? The same screenshot I have shown you. So the screenshot mentioned here like desktop OS machine is 59, server OS 0, and session right now 5 sessions are running for this. Okay. So to sort out this kind of issues, right? So first you have to check the proper connectivity between delivery controller to the hypervisor, like hypervisor is connected or not. First thing is that, and second thing is that you have to check the correct host ID or correct host name is mentioned in delivery controller. Means you are creating another host name in hypervisor, means into your domain, and in your delivery controller you are getting some another name, right? So for those kind of machine ID or host name kind of things, you have to cross verify. But host name, this is very rare. Machine cannot change machine ID automatically. The only thing that you have to check the proper connectivity from your hypervisor to your delivery controller. Okay. Now coming to this is also a very important question. What is LTSR and what are the current release, right? So basically, uh, we are getting two type of support from the Citrix for a licensing perspective, right? So basically, another one is Citrix LTSR, like virtual apps and desktop LTSR, or you will get Citrix hypervisor LTSR. Means LTSR is for long-term service release. That means basically that LTSR edition is for the small scale industries. Means if we have got a new client, right, and who is just planning to move to Citrix infra, right? So for that particular user, there is a separate license available from Citrix, which is known as LTSR, that is long-term service release. Why? Because that particular client is very new for that for a Citrix, and it may take up to 5 or more than that years to understand or to set up the infra for that particular user, right? So apart from that, basically if we talk about the current release, so for LTSR version from for Citrix, GenApp and Gen Desktop, so any update for that particular LTSR version is released in between 12 to 24 months. Means only one update will be given from Citrix for LTSR edition in 2 years or after 1 year. Okay. But on other hand, if we talk about the current release, so basically current release is for the huge MNCs who already running on Citrix, and the security patches and updates for that current release for Citrix is always after 2 or 3 months only. You will get something here listed. I'm not sure where I have mentioned it, but after means after every 3 months you will get proper updates for this addition. Why? Because it's already into the production for huge MNCs, and that but on other hand, that LTSR addition for the newly uh, enterprises, right? And they guys need some stability, means they cannot update the things quickly, right? Because they do not have those professionals over there like the experienced guys. So if we talk about which license is opted for which organization and what are the benefits, so as I told you, LTSR is for the small scale or new clients, and current release is for the uh, huge huge or large MNCs which is already having their own data center, and LTSR is for the companies who is still using the physical laptop and desktop, and they do not have any their own data center, right? So apart from that, how to check which license is required for which organization? So for the same, one tool is given by the company which is known as Citrix LTSR Assistant tool. So basically what you have to do, you have to run that tool, you have to mention the things like how many users are there in your organization, how many systems you will be required, whatever the count you have, the memory utilization or the hard drive utilization, you have to enter all those inputs in that particular tool, and it will automatically uh, deliver the output to you, like which license is suitable for you as per the inputs you have given. Okay. So again, this particular task is for Citrix data center architect only, not for you guys, like, because so far you guys not responsible to design any data center, but you will be aware, you should have some knowledge what are the type of license available or release available from the Citrix. So there are two release available from Citrix. First one is Ltsr and second one is current release. Okay. And apart from definitions, you have nothing to do with this, because to deploy a new client data center, we have separate engineers or data center architect for the same. So now coming to the data collector and delivery connector. So again, let me know you one more thing. Now go to the top. So I skipped this particular question in the starting. The reason was that right now we are learning FMA. FMA full form is that flex cost management system, and the part of FMA are site, machine catalog, then VDA, then delivery group, then studio, then virtual delivery agents, right? Then director. So these are the core components of FMA. But why we have not learned IMA? So basically IMA was the independent management architect, right? So IMA was available till the release of Citrix GenApp and GenDesktop 6.5, but after release of 7X, things has been changed now. Now it is moved to FMA Architect. In FMA Architect, these components are there. Whether you can see like here, in earlier version, no machine catalog was there, no delivery group was there, right? Virtual delivery agent here, but you do not find any virtual delivery agent here. Delivery controller here. Earlier it was known as the data collector. Connection leasing here right now. Earlier we have one option called connection host cache, right? Right now we are having storefront server. Earlier there was no storefront server. Okay, so basically it's not your fault. The reason is that, where is that? Okay, here it is. So the version 7.0 was released in the mid of 2013 and 14, means Citrix Director, Machine Catalog, Delivery Group, all those things was introduced after 2013, means in the mid of 13 and 14, right? Before that, those options was available, like IMA. So you have to learn, you have to read out those things. Why? Because no one will be going to ask you the version what was available in 2013. Okay, so maybe I have worked on those versions, but now things has been changed. Now we are into 2022 now, right? So no one will be ask you for those things. Okay, so for your information only, if someone ask you like when FMA was introduced, so you have to tell them like FMA has been introduced after the release of 7.x, and earlier it was known as IMA. And if we compare IMA with FMA today, so earlier it was known as independent management architect, now flex cost management. So right now we have site. Earlier it was form. Now we have machine catalog. There was no machine catalog available here. Now we have delivery agent. Earlier there was no delivery agent. So those kind of some basic comparison you can tell them, right? So no one will going to ask you what was that. Okay, got it? I will share that document with you guys. You can read it out. Okay. because it is useless for you guys in current scenario if I teach you the things which was happened before the year 2013, right? Because we are in 2022 now. So now coming to the FMA services, as I told you, right now we are on FMA, that is Flex Management Architect. And in FMA, we are having Citrix Workspace, Studio Director, multiple things. So for the same, we have a few services like machine creation service. Means someone can ask you, just let me know the important services, like explain any few services for FMA, right? So few services you can answer in easy way. Machine creation services, why? Because we are working on machine creation services. Hosting services, why? Because we are working on host means hypervisor here, okay? You can answer the monitoring services, why? Because we are monitoring the things with database. You can answer storefront service, SQL service for high availability, right? So you must have to remember few services, and what are the roles of every service. You can see all those into the description, okay? So basically if someone asks you, just let me know the few services from Citrix. So first service will be machine creation. It is very easy to remember. Then hosting service, AD identity service for Active Directory console. For authentication you can remember this as well. It is very easy to remember. Then monitoring service is also easy to remember. Storefront is very easy. So only 4, 5 or 6 you can remember, okay? And also you have to tell them earlier when Citrix was started, only 6 services was there. But now they have increased the services count to the 18 services now. So if someone asks you the services, so basically this is a snapshot of Citrix services like host service, machine creation service, monitoring service. So all service, as you can see here, all services are up and running, right? So if something wrong happening, so your first task for troubleshooting perspective is to check each and every service state, like whether all the services are running and up or not. If you found any service is down, what you have to do, you have to right click on that particular service and you have to make it up, okay? So basically I think we have started at 9, or it's almost 1.5, 1 point like hours now, and we have multiple topics to cover. Okay, guys. So what I will do, we will continue from tomorrow for PBS, right? And as it is a theoretical part, and it could be a boring for you guys to understand the thing in a single lecture. Okay, so what I will do, I will share the recording of this session to everyone. You can summarize in the night or in the afternoon, whenever do you want to summarize. Okay, you can revise the things, and also I will share the document to you guys. So you can, yeah, whenever you will get some time, just try to read out all those topics, okay? So I am quitting that document in the mid itself, because it's a huge document. I think 70 pages are there. So if I can explain the 70 pages in a single day, so I'm sure you will get only 7 words in your mind, okay? So it is quite complicated for you, or even for me, to explain and for you to understand the things in a single shot, okay? So what we will do, after some practicals, I will arrange one more theoretical session for you guys after few days, okay? Any question, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, guys, so I'm terminating the call. From tomorrow we will continue with the practicals for PBS, okay? Then after I will explain you the PBS, how it works if we compare the things with MCS, like machine creation services, and those kind of topics we will cover up tomorrow with practicals only, okay? So have a nice day. Good night. Bye bye. Take care.